And we're back. Next to tell you we're Star Ocean. Today time talk. Let's continue. Basically, you're in Airglyph. You're in Aquaria now. Basically, and going through stuff, figuring out different things. Exploring the area, getting new weapons and armor and whatnot. And eventually, you get to Paterni, which is the first Aquarian city that has not been bombarded by crap stuff. And this is where things take, in my opinion, a bit of a nosedive. Then you go down a few notches, mainly because Fate meets a girl. No, Fate is all against this. Is against the UP3. No, it's not against UP. He's against helping Aquaria, helping Nell and her friends develop a weapon to win this war. Okay, they want to develop a weapon. They want to know when to develop a weapon with and basically he's against it. He's been against it because the UP3, that'll be technology. We'll be sharing technology and knowledge that we shouldn't share with them because that's too much. That causes all kinds of problems. And he's like whining about that the whole time until he meets a girl that looks exactly like Sophia. Okay, Amina, she's cool. She's cute and everything. Promise you, because I like Sophia. So now it's like, oh my goodness, you remind me of a girl that I once knew. I'm like, this thing. So now it's like a personal stake. I changed my mind to find out this girl is sick, right? Because of the war. The war made her sick, basically. Also, she's very sad because she can't see her friend because of the war. Because the war has happened, and she's like, oh, if only I could see him. It'd be so great to see him. And then it's like, oh no, So now it's like, oh, let's change our minds. I want to help with the war. I have my reasons. Like I know what the reasons are. Fate. Took it down a few notches for me because I would have rather Amina be like, look like her neighbor. There's like this awesome, cute, middle-aged neighbor girl or neighbor lady, who, in my opinion, is kind of like is kind of dwarfish. And that would be nice too. If she was, if she looked like her, or she better yet was an NPC, like runologist, like all the runologists, just an NPC, someone who's not familiar at all. Basically, a runologist is a magic user. That's how because they use magical symbols called runes. Symbology. Another thing they use in this game is again symbols, magical symbols, basically. They call it and the other game they call it starts to the second story they call it heraldry, which is basically again magical symbols they use to do stuff. So basically that's how it works. Runologist usually is Aquarian runologists are usually ladies, and they're usually just basically in normal average long robes or dresses type of clothing. And if Amina had been one of those, it would have been so much better because then basically be like, oh, this poor lady, if only I could meet my she could be like, oh, if only I could see my friend again, as someone who's does not look like remind him of anyone that he knew, so then it'd be less personal. It'd be like, oh, this new person, oh, let's help her out. But it's still awesome how it works. But it's just it took it down a few notches for me. But basically, you're about to go to Aquaria, where but you're about to go to Aquios, which is the main city of Aquaria, where the queen is. Okay, because basically, Aragorn has a king. Aquaria has a queen, and you're about to go to the place where the queen is to talk to her about stuff and figure out this weapon. But then you find out, the neighbor lady comes over, and she's like, "Oh my goodness, Amina went, to pick flowers." Now, I think she sells flowers, but she also makes there's this thing called the wishing charm, which basically is a flower. It's a thing. It's actually you take a bunch of flowers, of very rare flowers too, and basically you weave them together into like that, and that's supposed to wish on that, and that's supposed to be like a goddess or something supposed to grant that wish if you do it right, and this stuff, and it's like a legend and stuff. She's like basically working on that wishing charm, so she went to get more flowers for that. So what happened was they both went over there. She collapsed. And homegirl could not carry her back, so she came back. And it's like, oh my gosh, she's collapsed in the Douglas Forest. Please, you gotta help me. You gotta help me. You gotta go there and save her. I'm like, okay, I would like you to be playable, so you get your axe, get your axe, put your armor on. She's like, no. And I'm like, no, you're not gonna do that. I don't get your axe. I have my sword. You can have my sword. You can have someone's bow. And then you have your axe. And carry the fate of all of us. Come on. Let's get. Well, it's the fellowship of something. I don't know. Something, yeah. I don't know. But that didn't work out that way. So we go to Douglas Forest. Turns out it's swarming with monsters. How did two people, one of whom is sick, is very sick, managed to get through this place? So okay, there are monsters. Yeah, yeah. This is the first maze you're gonna run into because basically there are these silly monster trees that like to basically they're like sort of like a combination of Narnian trees, those Narnian trees on Prince Caspian that like walk around with their roots, and combined with something from Inuyasha because they have weird human faces on them. Maybe it's Wizard of Oz, yeah. Yeah, weird human faces on them. So yeah, it looks weird. They look weird. Maybe they're ants. They Lord of the Rings. They got like human faces. Yeah, something like that. But basically, these things like to just block the way. And what you do is you find there's like this little fairy girl who I so wish was playable. Please make her playable or something. And she's in there, and you basically help her you have to get her some water. You have to get her some water, and get her some water from a spring. There's like three types of springs in there. There's a spring of red water, which is hot boiling water, and you give her that, she'll be like, what are you trying to do, boil me alive? If you give her regular water, there's like a spring with regular water, and she'll give you like, this is just regular water, isn't that good? It's like kind of sounding a little bit like a certain special guest we have from time to time on the show. But then if you give her sparkling water, that's magical water. And I was like, when I saw when she did that, I was like, she got her strength back. So I was like, yeah, blow me down. So it was like, yeah, that's so great. So then basically she doesn't become playable, but she will fly around with you and say, hey, that tree is really a monster, and then you fight it. It's like sort of a little boss battle, and you defeat all these trees, get through this maze. You find the cutest, I don't know, the cutest playable character. It might be the cutest playable character in the whole game, and that is Roger. And you find Roger, and you get to hang out with him a little bit, and it's pretty cool to hang out with this little dude because he's fun. And the issue is that the graphics work best with him. Because at first when I was playing this game the first time, the first few times, I was hating on the graphics because it was like they were looking like dolls, and it was not realistic, and there's this weird annoying 3D style. But then I realized they are trying to make a 3D cartoon style. As far as I know, if you think about it that way, then it's not bad because then it's like, hey, it works pretty well as a 3D anime style, a 3D cartoon style on something that's better with that can do 3D okay. So yeah, I'm okay at it, but the issue is Roger works best at it because he's basically a short little dude with a giant oversized helmet with all with like with like goggles and bandages and stuff. It's so great. And a tail. He looks so great in there, and I really wish there were more characters like that were playable in that game because that style works so well for him. It works a lot better than with anyone else in there, But yeah, that's what you need to work on, If they ever get into anything else, I would love to see a Roger game, a game where you play as Roger, if Roger's main character and he's doing something. Okay, save the world. Eventually save the world somehow. That'd be cool. You run around and do stuff and then save the world. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that. That would be a cool RPG. Come on, Square Enix, make it happen. That'd be so cool. You have your main teams work on Final Fantasy and Tomb Raiders and other games like that, but have another team mess around and work on a Roger game, a game with a lot of little minnow dicks because he's a minnow dicks. They call him minnow dicks kids, having adventures. That would be a cool game because there's so much potential for this game. There are so many characters. You'll see later in the Star Ocean. You'll see later in the Star Ocean. My Star Ocean playthrough, but there were so many very interesting children, Minodix children in this game. Okay, there's parts where you finally get to the Republic of Sandmite, which is a Minodix village. You will see all the kids are trying to have this manliness contest. This manliness contest where there's where basically they're trying to prove that each one can be the manliest by going out on adventures and stuff. And that's actually how Roger got captured by these bandits. He was in a cage. He got captured by these bandits because he was trying to steal this treasure from them, and they caught him and threw him in a cage. Then you free him, and you free him eventually, and you defeat the bandits. But anyway, the manliness contest. You see all kinds of weird you see all kinds of interesting characters that look way better in that style than your main characters do. Okay, you got Roger, of course. You got this weird kid. I don't know, male or female. I don't know. With these glasses, weird spiral glasses on. You know, it's not, the character is voiced by a lady. Okay, it is voiced by a lady and likes to hang out on frogs, walking like on giant frogs or something. There's one character named Lucy or Lucian, but you know, and you know, the chubby. There's another chubby character. There's another one chubby dude, little chubby dude who called her Lucy. He called him her Lucy. He's like, what? She, Lucian was like, why do you call me Lucy? He's like, that's your real name, isn't it? I was like, no, don't ever call me that. You know, so I'm like, don't ever call me that. I'm Lucian. Dang it, I'd be the best man here. Come on. He was like, no, I don't know. That's brings up another question. There aren't very many female Menodicks here. That's why I was thinking of my story about what happened to them. You know, breeding. You know, they were carried off by slavers, you know, bandits and war, and caused all kinds of problems. So they're still now they're hidden. They stay hidden in caves, and you know, basically mostly are trying to help repopulate the species, and it's a lot of different things. So I'm trying to figure out lots of different things that figure out why there aren't that many female Menodicks there. But anyway, the case is that it looks better with them than it does with the main characters. But anyway, back to the story. I digressed a bit, but back to the story. You free Roger. You defeat the bandits. Roger helps you find. Well, Roger and homegirl and the fairy girl may have met before. Who knows? You know. And it was like that was interesting. Oh yeah, there was also this annoying advertisement. Well, not advertisement. It was in the book, in the Star Wars Until the End Time book, instruction book. They said Roger was fully grown. That's not the case. I don't know who did that, but they said Roger was full grown when he's not fully grown. Okay, we've seen fully grown Menodicks. Okay, no. So I don't know why they had to say that, because it's like no, this isn't Photon, where you have your 5-year-old looking dude hanging out with this gorgeous, awesome, full-grown woman and her cute little friend, 5-year-old looking friend. No, that's not that. This is not Photon. This is Star Wars Daily Time. Most that Roger ever says that is in any way suggestive is basically, he's being nicer to Nell than any of the others. That's basically it. That's basically all. And it's like, okay, I can understand that. She's cute. She is kind of cute. But you better watch yourself. She mess you up if you're not careful. So, but yeah, still. That was weird. But anyway, you feed the bandits. You hang out. What? She's awake. Okay. You defeat the bandits. You're hanging out. And you find, you're able to find them. Oh, yeah. You have to go through this maze until you find, there's a bunch of rocks and things. And then there's and that's, that's one thing that's might be unintentionally funny. Lady Fate get hit by boulders. There's like boulders that are being pushed down by enemies. And, seeing Fate get hit by stuff is just so much fun. Because it's like, he gets hit by and you don't lose a life. You might get hurt. But you don't lose a life, though. And you're like, it's like, oh, dude, why? It was a lot of fun. I liked it. Excuse me. Oh. No, anyway. Too good. Anyway. So you're hanging out there. Okay, so then finally you get through the rocks, and there's a pretty cool thing where there's a part where you're running away from you're basically you see yourself like right in front. You see yourself, the camera is behind you, and there are rocks coming at you. There's like holes in front of you that the rocks will fit in. So basically, what you have to do is move away from the rocks, let them roll into the holes, then you go run over the rocks, and as the rocks are coming from behind you, you're like shoot, it was a lot of fun. I like that. I wish there were more scenes like that. But anyway, that would be a nice game. That would be a nice game. That would be a nice game. Have Fate Line God and a bunch of characters in a platformer game where you're running. That would be one of the weirdest platforms ever. Fate Line God and friends running around. Going, oh shoot! You have like 4-player co-op. You're just like, okay, God, what do I do? This way. Oh shoot! Beat that guy up. That'd be cool. Running away from stuff. That'd be cool. I like to see that. Yeah, 4 players. 4 players. Just totally. Anyway, so you're doing all, yeah. You finally get to this foggy area. You go through this place. You meet up with the first Mudman you're ever gonna come across, and the Mudman is basically like kind of like Sandman and Clayface put together. He's got the head and arms of a Sandman, and a torso of a man that's made of sand, and then the rest of him is basically sand all over the place. And then it's like, yeah, he basically can, smash you, hit you with his, clap, hit you, smash you with his hands like that, or just uppercut you, or throw fists at you or things. And it's a pretty cool battle, and kind of dangerous if you're not careful. Not as dangerous as later when there's a Superman, Mudman. Those guys are tough. Well, anyway, you eventually beat that, and after going through all those monsters and all of that crazy stuff, that fog and stuff, you finally come to Amina in a place that has flowers all of a sudden. And she's unconscious, and it's like, how did you live through all that? This girl must be some crazy warrior, because oh my goodness, she got through that stuff. Nobody's business. Nobody, this is so crazy. Oh my goodness. Well, and so, yeah, strangely enough, Roger leaves right after. I don't know why he leaves. He's like, well, everything's done. Yeah, we're deep in this forest. That's hard to, that you can easily get lost in. I'm only a little kid, but I'm going to go now. See ya. I'm like, oh, come on. At least come back to us to the village, and you can go to a sand mite from there. Weird. I don't understand that. They had to get rid of him because he's like, they go straight from you finding him to another cutscene, finding her to another cutscene. I don't know. I think I just put Roger in the cutscene. Anyway, see you next time. It should be on YouTube DeviantArt, especially my how Kingdom Hearts should end it, and on DeviantArt and on YouTube. That would be Halo 3. Oh yeah, I'll be doing that again with this awesome new TV.